Okay. I just realized I wasn't recording. I'm actually going to check it again to make sure I am recording. I found out that one of my friends died. And I would not have found out any other way, but her spirit ran on me. You know, and I tried contacting her a couple of times and couldn't get in touch with her, and she sent me a text message. She said that she's in the hospital. She got out the hospital, and she's okay. It's very disheartening to me because I really was hoping that she would be able to move to Connecticut, you know, and I could be the brother for her that we all should be for our sisters, you know. And like I tell anybody I talk to, if a woman is not married, really she shouldn't be living by herself. She should have a brother and sister, somebody to look out for her. It was never designed for a woman to have to be responsible for that many things on her own, especially if she's going through something health-wise. I mean, we got the laws of Moses, and for some reason, this doesn't dawn on people. I guess I could say that's neither here nor there, but my heart's a little bit hurt because as much as I've tried to develop myself since I was a teenager, a kid, whatever you want to call it, I've really worked hard to try to get things done so that when I am able to, I can finally meet needs of both the brethren and the stranger that the Bible talks about. That's very important to me. It's important to me because it's one of the physical attributes you do while you're here, because there's no other reason for you to be here but to be a slave for the kingdom, to be a servant to one another. I want to talk about the straw that breaks the camel's back, man. Because we make a lot of choices, and more often than not, we don't think things through before we do it. We just do it. And it's very carnal, ungodly to make decisions as if you're going to live immortal, that you're going to be here forever, like you could do no wrong in the eyes of Yah. It's very bad. When you make a decision that's not deliberate, that's one thing. But when you just plotting and you keep doing things over and over, and you got in your mind that I'm going to do what I'm going to do and I'm just not ready or whatever, whatnot. But then you go out and you're preaching to people and you're telling people about what God is and God isn't, blah, blah, blah. Followed by the proverbial, if I ask for forgiveness, I'm going to be forgiven. You got to be careful because you don't know what anybody's going through in this world, in this life, in this time, in this day and age. You don't know what task Yah is trying to put a person through. You don't know if somebody done lost somebody. You don't know if somebody came in and their wife is cheating on them. You don't know. You don't know the cause and effect of what is a person's going to do. That's bad. But you just say anything out your mouth, and you just do anything that's inside your heart. Well, you tell somebody, don't eat pork. Man, how many times Isaiah talk about what pork's equal to? And it solicit your sacrifices to being something that's so defiled, it should make you want to throw up. It should make you not want to go touch nothing. It should make you want to go take a bath 7 times, yo. But you trying to reason with your flesh about why it's okay. Man, it's nothing worse than carrying burdens that you ain't got no business carrying. It's written, carry the burden of your brethren, unless it costs you to sin. If it risks eternal damnations for you to protect and love anybody, because you're going to break any regulation, whether it be from the spirit or of the flesh, it's best to leave those people alone. You don't know what could cause you to self-destruct. And you don't know what you hold on to and decide that you're going to do because you think you understand and you think you know, that's going to eventually cause you to break the rules. Or better yet, you don't know what choice you're going to make that may cause Yah to test you, to prove you, to show you you are not who you say you are. And that's real, man. You gotta be careful. Because you'll end up killing somebody with your mouth. You'll end up killing somebody with your actions. I can't lie and say that a choice that I've made in the past did not cause somebody anger, did not cause anybody to sin, regardless of what my intention was. That's my error. That's the card that knocked down the house. And it's my issue I gotta deal with. You think you just gonna say it's alright, they should know this and they should know that? Yo, you don't know who's weak and you don't know who's strong. Some people have a level of understanding and are not the level that we identify that they should be. And you could err and cause somebody to do something that is destructive to their connection with Yah. It's written that though you may be saved, it will be as one who's escaping the fire. Man, we gotta be careful, because we don't know what choice we can make to cause corruption within somebody else. As the Messiah says in another scripture, that if it was so possible that you can deceive the very elect, decisions. You see these shows where it talks about the angel and the devil and all this other stuff. Man, one of my fights, I won't say is necessarily with women to some degree, but I remember when I first got saved, when I first accepted truth and the Spirit hit me and I was fasting all the time, y'all started showing me where Satan was doing here a little, there a little adages, where I can recognize where I knew that a girl was about to come around the corner and she wasn't in sight. I ain't hear no footsteps, nothing. All of a sudden in my spirit, look right there. And I turn and I say, look right where? I don't see anybody. And then all of a sudden a girl appears. And I'm like, how in the world did I know she was going to be there? That didn't happen one time. That happened several times. Because during that fasting, that temptation, that misdirect from your flesh, from familiars, you don't know what's going on. Diverse. And if it's happening to you, and you saved, and little by little saved, forgive me, y'all. If it's happening to you, and you've been purged, and you're being sanctified, and you're in your track to become exactly what, if not surpass what the apostles were, what the 108 were, the 72 were, the 12 were, the 5 women that followed him wherever he went, the prophets, the preacher of the text, the shepherd, the judges. If you're on your way to become like them, and you can hear and start discerning, then what do you think people go through that never receive the Spirit? And what do you think the goal is? When you are being walking around every single day and somebody else is not really walking in this walk. Did you forget what the adversary said to Yah? Yah said, try my man Job. Job went through. And in the end, that was for Job's 3 friends. Job's kids was killed. Job's wife went through. The building, the house, all he had, his health, ruined. You don't know when that man could have self-destruct. He went through a lot. You don't know who can go self-destruct on a daily basis. But you live as if you think tomorrow is promised. That there is no punishment for sin. Mistakes is mistakes. Atonement is atonement. But when you are not trying to purge, when you're not trying to quench, when you're not trying to strengthen yourself, to sharpen yourself, hone your skills and abilities, you are a danger to us all. You think because your preacher preaches a message every single Sabbath or every single Sunday or every single Wednesday, Thursday, that's what Yah is trying to say. When you don't know how often that man actually tries to break the word down, that he tries to get this understanding, she tries to get this understanding, so that the Spirit can deal with what they're dealing with in their lives. We argue against polygyny and all these men are cheating against their wives. The fact of the matter is that if they actually loved their wife, they wouldn't do anything to cause her harm. If we respected Yah, we wouldn't go outside of anything that was dealing with heterosexuality versus homosexuality, anything of that nature. If we really loved Yah, we wouldn't break any of the commandments, because we understood the least of these commandments was sin. If we understood Matthew chapter 5 and other chapters like that, Luke chapter 6, things of that nature, then we will understand that this covenant deals on the level of one's perception as well as thoughts, on one's ability to act on what's in them. Your works, man. Your works. People disagree with that. And yet, it is clear that James said, faith without works is dead. It's useless. It don't help anybody. You are your actions. So, by your actions, you will be judged innocent, or judged and accepted, or judged and rejected. And you don't know what choices that you make, because you can't keep that self-control, like the book of 2 Peter says, chapter 2. And as a result, for your lack of self-control, somebody else is paying penalties for your actions. That's bad. That's bad. Man, this kid was angry. And as a result of him being angry, he grabbed a stick to go attack somebody. And then the cop pulled up just now, and my cousin said, stop. And I said, I'm not stopping because the cop's about to do what he's going to do. And lo and behold, the cop was behind him. Then what he started to do was he dropped what he had and started walking away. That's when I had to act, because I needed to make sure my brother didn't die, because they're killing us. You don't know what time or what tools Satan uses to take our lives. I told him immediately, bro, despite anything and how you feel, remember that's a cop. Just lay down. He kept walking. The cop was walking behind him. They had to go into the street to follow him so he could talk to him. You don't know. I don't know what happened. I left. I don't know what happened. Right now, I'm about headed home. And I can end up seeing this man on the floor. Dead. I can see blood on the floor. Dead. You don't know what happened. We gotta do better. I don't know what was the reasoning behind what set him off, but whatever set him off to the point where he had to run across the street to go get something big in order to make him feel like he had enough to go protect himself. You don't know how calm this kid could have been his whole life. You don't know what choices he made in elementary school and middle school. You don't know what invention Yah had in his body, in his mind, in his design, so that he could bring to us. You don't know. With all that's in him and all that will be in him, he made a choice, and he made several choices after that. And we don't know if that led to his demise or if Yah showed him mercy. To one I bless, to one I curse. Make sure you're not the reason why someone loses their life, because you still will have to answer to that. Make sure you're not the reason why somebody made a choice that was not representative of the kingdom of heaven, or of one that could see Yah through nature itself.